Alright guys, good afternoon. Welcome back, half-fast 719. Sorry for the wind, noise. Anyway, yeah, so I wasn't ever gonna show this video, but figure, why not? Car is fixed, everything's good. So it is all together. Got the skid plates on, everything's on. So anyway, I'll tell you what had happened, and you guys can watch the video. And then, yeah, then I'll just explain all that needed to be done. So, yeah, basically we went out for a dune ride. We were out in the dunes for the whole weekend. A buddy and me out riding. And yeah, so anyway, wife and kid decided to come out. They wanted to go for a ride, whatever. So I took my wife out. My kid was in my buddy's 2018 YXZ or 2017 YXZ 1000. Same as this, except for his was turboed. And yeah, kid passenger, my buddy driver's seat. And yeah, my wife and me were driving this. I was driving, she was passenger. Basically, we were on a headset, and my buddy would jump something, then the wife would say no, and then I wouldn't jump it, I'd turn down in the sand dunes, the DUMONT sand dunes. But anyway, yeah, so we get back, hanging out, eat lunch, do whatever. I like to, no, I'm not gonna go there, because I like to blame my buddy, but it's not his fault, not at all. I just like to say it's his fault. But anyway, so yeah, I asked the kid, hey, you want to go for a drive? He's like, yeah. I said, do you want to drive? And he's like, yeah. I said, you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure you want to drive? And he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. I was like, okay. My buddy, asked him, same thing, are you gonna drive? He's like, yeah. He's like, my buddy's like, are you sure? So I tell my buddy, like, hey, just go, it's first time riding in the dunes, go to the little dunes, don't go in any of the big dunes. And yeah, so, oh, she almost fell. Anyway, I'm all dirty because I was putting the skid plate on, a million stupid bolts. But anyway, yeah, so my buddy was supposed to lead. He was in front of us. So my kid driving, I'm passenger. And we'd been driving for about 10-15 minutes, and everything was going good. I was just telling my kid, more gas, turn left. One hill, one dune, we almost didn't make it up. I had to have him turn around. I said, hey, turn down, just pin it and turn down. So he went burp and turned down. We weren't supposed to be in the big dunes. However, we were in the big dunes. A big bowl. It's a pretty big dune. On the video, it does not look that. The video that I'm going to be showing does not look that big. However, when you're coming up and over the dune, you can't see on the other side. So anyway, yeah. So kid, so everybody's going over. So my buddy's not in the front, obviously. He's in front of us, but he's not in the front leading. So another guy who's been going to the dune since he was, I don't know, 10 years old. He's in a Razor Pro R, XP R, whatever they're called. He's in a Razor, 4-seater Razor. So anyway, he goes up and over the dune. Another dude's in just a Razor Turbo S, or maybe not turbo, maybe just a Razor 1000 or 900, whatever they're called. Anyway, they go over the dune. They go over the dune, they come down, and then they go. It's hard to explain it, but anyway, they go into the big bowl, and the big bowl's big bowl. And so the dune is peaked like this. So everybody's skimming on the top. So my buddy decides to skim across it more so it wasn't as peaked because he knew my kid was coming. So I tell my kid, I'm like, just pin it. And then I don't know what happened. Yeah, I have no clue what happened. I don't know if he overcorrected or if we just high centered and slid. And then once we hit sand again, he was turning the wheel to turn down because we came up. I think we kind of high centered, and then I think he turned the wheel instead of keep going straight and then cross over like this, sand dunes. So you don't want to ever want to go over the dune like this because you'll hit it and you'll either get bucked and flip down the hill, or you'll go and you'll be 150 feet down the dune. Anyway, so you got to cross over the dune like this, and I don't know what happened. I kind of, from the video, kind of seems like we hovered for a little bit, not jumped, not in the air, kind of like, and then it just went, and all the hits hit on my side, all the damage. If I'm gonna do 2 videos, I'm gonna do the regular speed, slow motion, then regular speed again. But yeah, it's a minute and 12 seconds long of flipping, doing whatever, and then it's 3 minutes in slow motion and a minute and something. But anyway, yeah, so he was driver's side, his side like hovered, and then my side hit, and then his side, on my side's hitting, his side hovers again, and then boom, it hits on my side. So my helmet's not destroyed, but it's got some gouges in it, but I have to get a new helmet. I'll probably wear the helmet just on the street while I'm testing the car, but if I go out in the desert, in the dunes, I won't wear it, obviously. But yeah, so here's those videos, and then I'll come back and tell you guys all what I had to do. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're not. Sure.
Yeah.
You're positive. That's fine. Just sure. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Just let me know if you're not. All right, guys. You probably had seen all the videos. If not, is what it is. But anyway, pretty gnarly crash at a DUMONT. One of my worst crashes in DUMONT, and I've broken my collarbone at DUMONT. I've hyperextended stuff. I've sprained both my wrists, you know, hitting a witch's eye. But anyway, this was probably the worst accident. Anyway, so as you see in the videos, basically, car was totaled, but because I can't get insurance, I had insurance for 2 days. They canceled it because aftermarket parts on it, which was roll cage, seats, harnesses, and that's pretty much all I listed for aftermarket parts. Then I didn't do exhaust because, you know, I could easily swap that back over. But anyway, so they'll reject you for insurance to make the car safer, which is dumb. So anyway, I don't have a parts list of all the stuff, but I'll just go over it. So anyway, here's a breakdown. First and foremost, needed a new cage. Ordered LSK cage, the radius cage with a roof. So it's an aluminum roof. This is a weld it yourself cage. I welded, tacked it all up and everything, got it all sturdy and whatever. And then my buddy took it to his house and then finished welding it because he has a better TIG welder than me. Same brand, but higher priced one. Okay, so that was first and foremost, was that. And then A-arms, upper, lower A-arms. Of course, I had to get them powder coated to match, to pretty much match, I should say. They're a very close match. This is obviously just shinier, cleaner, newer. This is sandblasted, weathered. So A-arms, axles, front brake line, new tie rods, which were under warranty. New ball joints. One of the A-arms came with the ball joint, and then the other one I had to buy a ball joint. A brake rotor, new axle. So sorry if I'm saying the parts over again, but new axle, brake rotor, the brake caliper slides. They're little bolts, like whatever, the little bolts. The banjo bolt, sway bar, in-link was brand new. Front diff selector, I guess you can call it, the actuator. So the plastic deal that's down in there to shift it to lock or unlock, and four-wheel drive. So it's four-wheel drive and diff lock, four-wheel drive. So that brand new plastic piece here, which didn't need to be replaced. It just had a hole somewhere in here from, I think, from the A-arm. Brake fluid, diff fluid, rear diff fluid, not needed. So this is just for, getting off topic here. This is just for the front. I did a cryptic front clip, so factory Yamaha axle, factory Yamaha A-arms, kryptonite, stupid tie rods, cryptic front clip, which included a pillar. So this bar here runs this way and then back up. So from there to there, it's a new bar, totally whole front new clip, all gusseted, all TIG welded, and chromoly, 4130 chromoly, because it was all bent. So that we TIG welded it on the car. My buddy, I tacked it up, and then the buddy came and finished TIG welding. New skid plate. So this is off the record of off the accident. So my kid helped pay because he caused the accident, even though he didn't. He just felt really bad because he wrecked my car that I'd saved up for forever. And I think he just felt really bad. So yeah, I ended up selling the radio stereo stuff from the car to kind of help offset, and I also bought extra stuff. So extra stuff that wasn't needed that I've done to the car is skid plates. So this little protector there, a skid plate. I did a new thing right here, switches. Did a new piece right here because the old one had switches in here, so that's a new piece in there. I did power commander tuning, so I can tune it how I want to tune it. I did have to buy new brackets that we welded on. Mirrors the same, but new brackets. Pretty much everything's the same. Seats the same. Harnesses are the same. Nothing really else new as far as any of that. I had to bend brackets back here. New axles in the rear. I bent an axle out there in the dunes, which is why the skid plate needed replaced, because rock hit the skid plate, hit the frame, shot out, bent the axle. So these are Tusk Gladiator axles. So both of those rear are new. Didn't have to touch anything in the rear. Installed a turbo. This is an MPI turbo. Dual fans for cooling it. They're 7.5 inch SPAL, SPAL fans. That's the stock header, because the aftermarket header I have over there wouldn't fit. Yeah, and then power commander here. This is a pod 300. It's made by DynoJet. And then a new plastic under the seat because there was a subwoofer in there. And yeah, so no LED light bar, still the same. The mirrors are still the same. That mirror nothing even happened to it. It was still good. So these are some good mirrors. I don't have a link. I don't remember where I got it from, but Amazon is where I got them. Fire extinguishers are good. Nothing happened to them except for, looks like this handle's bent, but I don't care. I'll use that one on Razors and Can-Ams, and then I'll use this one on Yamahas, because this one will open all the way, that one won't. Just kidding, guys. But yeah, so I had to do, included with all that, did new bolts on the cage. New bolts, not new nuts because I couldn't find any nuts. I did all new bushings, inside here, the brass bushings, and then these seal things, and then new nuts and bolts and washers all the way around there. And then I had to do, by my mistake, I had to do a rear brake line, hard line, because as I was cutting the old frame off, I ended up nicking that brake line and Yeah, it was trash. So anyway, with turbo, well, front clip was $2,600. Actually, it was, yeah, we'll just call it $2,600. 2,600 bucks. The cage, I got it for $900, probably under $900 with the roof and everything. Then I had to weld it. Powder coating was $360 for powder coating arms, and they charge extra because these were already powder coated black, so they have to burn off that powder coat. Anyway, looks like I got a package coming. I'll be back. All right, so yeah, the kid, like I was saying, the kid paid for the front clip, $2,600, paid for the cage, $900. So he paid me, $3,500. And then me and my buddy did all the work. Powder coating I paid for, all the parts I paid for. And yeah, and since I sold that stereo, basically traded it for the turbo. I purchased the turbo kit for $1,475. Needed to be rebuilt. So I rebuilt it. Rebuilt the turbo for $54 and cleaned everything up, painted it, did everything I could, and yeah, ended up getting the Power Commander 6. Did all that. Had to redo some of the tuning by Dennis at Mott Motorsports. And yeah, and we got it running. And it drives really good. It drives really straight. Did alignment yesterday on it. And yeah, everything works great. So ended up bypassing the fans for the turbo, bypassing the fans for the radiator. So when you turn the key on, the radiator fans come on and the intercooler fans come on, because they recommend 180 degree coolant temp. But anyway, if you guys think I was joking about flipping in the dunes, here's a lot of DUMONT dunes, and a lot of it's come out. So I haven't taken it out yet, but yeah. So, and a bunch of it was under the skid plate. So anyway, only thing I can recommend for anybody using these cars or buying a car, if it has a factory cage, which roof support, get rid of it. Get rid of the factory cage. Buy yourself a good, structural cage. It's welded. This thing, harnesses. Don't use the factory seatbelt. It's okay for trails, but anything like a level 2.5 or greater, they're not recommended for it. So thankfully I had the cage. Thankfully I had the seats. I had the harnesses. I had everything the way the car is right now. We checked the harnesses. Harnesses are still in great condition. There's no tears. There's no stretching. But yeah, anyway, I did want to get a different cage anyway, because the other cage was a lot lower. It started its radius there, and I want to say it was probably about 3 inches lower, and I did not like that, because just getting in and out of it, I'd hit my head. So anyway, if you guys want to see anything in particular, what I did, how I did it on this car, you guys go check out my other videos. And or if you guys don't see it on the video, just ask me. Ask or drop a comment. I'm pretty quick with responding. Don't watch this video and say, oh, you replaced everything on the car and that's it, because there's other videos. So just don't be that guy. Or you can ask, hey, do you have a video of this? And then I can send you a link. But anyway, guys, that's it. Video's getting too long. I want to thank you guys for sticking in there, doing all that. that's pretty much all I got. I think the car's 100% now. Other than I just have to go drive it, check tuning, and make sure it is the tune that we want, which is Dennis at Mott Motorsports. If he's okay with the way it's running and the tune and the auto tune and everything's working, then I'm gonna leave it. But if it's running really, really good, I'm gonna disconnect the auto tune and let it run. So anyway, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment. Like I said, comment below. I'm not scared to answer questions. See you guys on the next video. Later, guys.